Okay. Oh. Hi, Bruno. Good morning.
Hi, Stefan. How are you?
Yeah, very fine.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just do.
All right. So, and thank you very much, everyone, to join this kickoff session. Uh, we will wait a little bit moment because I think we have one team is still missing. Let's wait a moment, and after that, let's start.
Yeah, no problem.
Mhm. So, anyone here, please, if you can, please turn on your camera and to that we can see your face. Yeah, it is better for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Da, da, da. Okay, let's wait. Okay, thank you very much. Mhm. Okay, we will wait a little bit moment. During that, I would like to do some information to all the team here. Because some team, I think only one or two member is here. So please tell to your team member the information. So uh, I already sent the email to all of you, including your team member, that which include the invitation to the Slack. So please remind them that to join the Slack because and on the I will do all the information on the Slack from now. So and I think you already received the login detail to the platform. So to other members also, I will send the login detail to via the Slack. So if they didn't join in the Slack, they cannot access to the platform. So please make sure that all the team member will join to the Slack and will be catch up the move, the progress in this program. Okay, that is a very important point. Okay, so Shinto Moya is still not here, but
Yeah, we can still wait for a few
yeah,
minutes.
yeah. Let's wait until 5 and then start. So, and as I mentioned in the email, so today it is a kickoff, and I ask all of you to do a presentation in English around 5 minutes. So please be ready for your presentation. Okay, we will do the presentation first, and after that we will do some explanation. We will explain you how to use the platform and how this coaching program will going on and so on. Okay. All right. Right. Okay, maybe he is busy. So let's start the kickoffs. Thank you. Again, thank you very much for joining this program. So I'm Stefan. I'm a faculty in the Tokyo University, and I'm doing the entrepreneurship education. And this program is a program what we do for around 3 years, collaborating with Professor Bruno in École Polytechnique in Paris. So, and we are focusing on the deep tech venture startups. So, and here in this coaching program, we are here to support you, help you to brush up your idea, and maybe to be prepared for in the near future for build up your venture, maybe. So, so during this program, please feel free to ask any question, any comments, and we like to communicate with you. So please do not hesitate to ask questions, comments, and of course, not only during the session. So on the Slack, you can also anytime to ask question, and we have a formal session mostly one or two per month. But if you would like to discuss additionally, you can just send us email via the chat Slack, and then we can manage the time and do some short meeting with you. Okay, please use these 3 months as much as possible to encourage your progress. Okay, so Professor Bruno, I will give you the mic to you first. So please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Professor Stefan. So I'm Bruno Martino. I've been a deep tech entrepreneur myself for 10 years, and then I sold my company. And this is the moment I entered in the academic world with the idea of teaching entrepreneurship and structuring how the design, development, building process of technology startup, which is what I've been doing for the past 9 years. And so we're very happy to be here and to have the opportunity to share with you a number of things we've been doing, a number of tools we've been developing, and hopefully we can be of help on building your project, because at the end of the day, this is what really matters. That's pretty much it, no? So maybe we can start with the project presentation, or?
Yeah. Let's start the project presentation. So who won't present in the first? Is there anybody who want to do? Okay, ID, please.
Hi, thank you. My idea, I presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I will share our business idea. We plan to create surveys that makes important information about stores and facilities easy to see, information that people usually only learn by visiting the place. For example, let's think about the hospital. It can be difficult for patients to call and ask about things like appointment availability, waiting times, or if the hospital had less COVID-19 cases. With our app, users can quickly check this information at a glance, making it easier to decide where to go. Our service is not just for hospitals. It will also work for restaurants and other businesses. Customers can see things like available tables, the atmosphere, whether it's a good spot for a date, how quiet it is, and more. We will use data for matches each store's customer base, helping both customers and business owners understand what attracts people to their business. In short, our goal is to connect businesses and customers by providing a simple, clear platform that shows useful real-time information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. So it's definitely an interesting idea. There are a number of projects actually that I've seen trying to ease, particularly in hospital, medical world, setting an appointment, providing the relevant information. So one of the interesting angle in your idea is that you're going to have to choose an angle, actually. Because setting booking a table at a restaurant or setting a medical appointment are very different things. So the underlying problem is there, probably on both cases, but at the end of the day, they will probably describe very different projects. So one of the challenge when you start with such an idea is to conduct early investigations, to make a hypothesis of what could be the best entry door to the idea. So that probably will be part of the homework and work you will have to do until next time we meet. But it's definitely an interesting angle, and a number of projects are working on that, which is a good sign when you see that you're not alone with your idea. Lost in the world, but some are actually also working on the same idea. It's a challenge, but it's also a good sign that you're looking in the right direction.
Okay, thank you very much, Heidi, and thank you also, Professor Bruno, for the comments. So then let's move to the next one. So who want to do that? Masaya? Okay, please
I want
go.
to do my presentation. So
Right.
first, I will share my screen for my presentation.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Wait a minute. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when I do the slideshow mode, I can't check my
Okay.
writing. So I can do my presentation without not memo.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
problem.
So my presentation team uses happiness-based generalized routing system. AI will meet your demand. So yeah. So first, it's a pleasure to meet you today. And so I'm going to do my self-introduction. And I'm Masaya Kiguchi, and I am the fourth year student of Mia University. And I got 2023 e-qualification for AI engineer. And so I'm interested in combining AI with transportation for data analysis and social implementation. So I look forward to working with you. So let's get started. So how often do you use the routing system? For example, now I am the Miyagi University. I'm Miyagi University student. So sorry. For example, I use routing system in this example route. From Miyagi University Taiyo campus to Tohoku University Faculty of Engineering Central Building. This is the example. So as you know, routing system is necessary for our trip. And this is other example. And this figure shows the three routes visiting multiple onsen. So which one is not a waste of time? Which one will enjoy the view the most? Which route is best way to enjoy the local food? And which one will make you happy? So this idea is the origin of my routing system. So So I use the happy on this example. So what is the happiness of route guidance? And I think the cheapest, shortest is the basis. But for example, the something line is prone to suspicion of service, or it's easy to get lost at something station for transfer, or the scenery is better on the something line. And we should consider many other factors, I think so. Then my business is like therefore I propose a generalized routing system that optimizes based on the user's happiness rather than being limited by the framework of the cheapest or shortest route. First, I will explain the technical aspects of utilizing DeepTech, and then I will my PC PC's button is moving as I imagine. So please allow about this about this trouble. Yeah. So first, I will explain the technical aspect of utilizing deep tech, and then I will explain the business aspect of making it a reality. First, I will explain about technical aspect. My business and many uses two AI technologies: natural learning processing and mathematical optimization. And natural language processing is used to quantify users' happiness. Mathematical optimization is used for sorry, my PC is bad. Sorry. Mathematical optimization is used for happiness-based route optimization. For example, we have a feeling like excellent, convenient, boring, or frustrating. So we often express such feeling by using SNS. So I use such data to analyze to quantify the happiness, and this is the step one used by natural language process, and then I decide the happiness score like 90, 50, or such negative minus 30 or minus 100. So both positive value and negative value exist. And then based on such score, I use the mathematical optimization. And then route one is, for example, the route one is the route that users find most happiness. I use the technology like this. So I will explain the detail about this. So quantifying different emotions manually is so hard. Every day, many people post about their feelings while traveling on SNS such as X and Instagram. By analyzing big data using natural language processing, we can uncover the true nature of what makes people happy when traveling. I think so. I plan to do this analysis using the X API and the Instagram API. Quantify this as a happiness score and proceed to step 2. So step 2 is mathematical optimization step. The route is optimized based on the happiness score derived in step 1. This process not only optimizes for single destination, but also for travel between multiple destinations. The figure on the right is an example of optimization performed in the Northern Sendai area. This was actually implemented in Python. So then I move to the business aspect. I will create a system aimed at 2 target groups. First is the business trip planning for business person, and second is sightseeing trip planning for tourists. So business person is like such as health person who travels a lot. This demand is stable, I think. So the aim is to increase the probability of short term of growth. On the other hand, tourists such as foreign tourist demand is food, but I think that market is so big, so the aim is to increase the probability of long-term growth, I think. So I will explain the detail. So on business planning, punctuality is very important in business. For example, minimizing the risk of delays will be an important factors in business planning, even if it is not the shortest or cheapest. we will guide those who have a high degree of on-time operation. In addition, alternative routes are proposed in the event of delays and cancellations. So I move to the sightseeing trip planning. Travel in an unfamiliar place is a refreshing experience for many people, especially foreign tourists. For example, being able to enjoy the view from the window while traveling is an important element. Rather than viewing travel as something that cannot be avoided, we will provide route guidance that makes travel itself a part of sightseeing. So I talked about monetization. The stakeholders in this business include users and development contractors. Billing is made using a subscription method that has a low barrier to entry for users and can be expected to generate stable revenue. To maintain good service, the average customer spend needs to be high, which is one of the reasons why we choose business people and foreign tourists as our targets. So differentiation is like that. So now routing system is easy to use, but it is not like a travel agency or tour guide. So my routing system, my routing system strength is to exist both easy of use and such such freedom of routing. I think so. So my business opportunities is like this figure. As a first step, we aim to stabilize the business with business trip planning. Market size is about 6.4 trillion yen. As a second step, we aim to grow our business with sizing trip planning, and market size is about 22 trillion yen. So yeah, this is the last slide and vision of me. So it is my vision. From the mixture of the transportation and AI, change the surroundings, change the society, change the future. I will get the most out of technology toward a society. I will get the most of technology toward a society where everyone can travel happily. So thank you so much, and I apologize about my busy travel.
No problem. Thank you very much.
No, it's maybe a few words, and maybe Professor Stefan, we can give a quick feedback. So it's an interesting idea, and the energy you put in the presentation is very good. However, you see, the presentation is very interesting, it's very developed, and that's part of the trap, actually. Because you describe the technology, you describe use cases that you haven't yet confirmed. At the end of the day, when you build a startup venture, technology is never the prime concern. The prime concern, the initial driving force, is making sure you tackle a problem, understand the problem that you're tackling, mapping the problem, and then think about the technology related to the problem and who has the problem and when does it happen. So the advice would be keep everything you've put in your presentation in your memory, but forget about it temporarily. Because the work we're going to do together might be a little bit frustrating, but it's really about building the basis of the foundations of from a good idea, building the foundations of a good problem. And it always starts with getting back to the root of the problem. Like in the case of Iris project, you see, who has problems setting an appointment, organizing something. Same thing in your case, what problem do I have when I commute in Japan? And my problems will not be the same. You're right. If I'm a tourist, or if I'm going to the office, or if I'm running some errands, doing some shopping. So really what you need to do is to temporarily forget about all the tech That is interesting, and it's of course AI today, optimization technologies can do a tremendous work to help us, but you need to face that and put it in front of a real tangible problem that you've understood, contextualized. So this is really the job that we're going to do together. It's a little bit frustrating because it's always more fun to build a prototype, an AI-based prototype, and play with it than to talk to people. But this is where it starts, confirm, understand the problem that you're tackling.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your advice. And I also think that I have to see the real problem, real problem now, and now I can have some idea about my technology. So now I have to think the connection of technology and their problem. So on this program, I want to do my business, do my business for solving the real problem to make our society better. I think so.
But what you need to understand, and I think that applies to all of us present today, that the brain is hardwired to suggest solutions even when we haven't understood the problem. Because, a problem is kind of a cognitive pressure. We have a question that is unanswered. And that cognitive science have demonstrated that the brain handles uncertainty, which is an open question, in the same areas than pain. Which means that very often we will give us the illusion that we've answered a problem, even at the expense of lying to ourselves, because that allows us to remove the pressure from that question that we have in the mind, which doesn't have any answer. And so this is why it's very important you forget about the solution. Temporarily, you focus on the problem and you just care about the problem. You don't worry about whether you can match that problem with a technology that could handle it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when you try to do that matching, you feed that bias that pushes us to come up with the wrong answer to a problem just to get rid of that pressure. And this is what characterizes the early days of a deep tech startup, is that you don't know what works, what doesn't work. So you have to accept that you're gonna be in the fog for a long time. It's unpleasant.
So, yeah. Okay. Your bias example is very meaningful for me. And so first I don't have to match this tech and business. And first I have to concentrate about only problem.
Exactly. Your problem is what will make me happy. I like the happiness angle. I think it's a nice angle. What will make me happier when I commute? Where are my frustrations today with existing technology? And that's what you should be focusing on. And forget about the rest. Just understand where are the frustration, inefficiencies, source of unhappiness. This is a good angle because we need to be happier in 2024.
Yeah, now, sorry?
Yes, so just focus on that, actually.
Thank you. Your advice is very meaningful for me. So now I have a bias that I have to consider the mixture of tech and business first. But as you say, first I concentrate concentrate the concept of happiness on this concept, and then I should consider the idea for solving this problem is very important for me. or
Yeah,
be.
and where is the problem facing happiness? So that means you have to invert your idea. Is where, when, and where are people unhappy when they commute, when they move, they drive? You know, where are they unhappy? Because at the end of the day, it's always a need or a problem that will drive the success or not of a project. So this is really what you need to focus on.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's move to the next because we have
sorry.
time. But
yeah, sorry, yeah.
it is very important discussion that will be a common issue for all of us. And Masaya, thank you very much for this very interactive discussion. So
Yes,
I'm
so
very
much, yeah.
appreciate for you the such kind of very discussion. Okay. All right. So next, let's move to the next team who want to do that. We have two teams. Okay, you say please.
Can you see my screen?
It's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you want the description, you can just do in this style, no problem. We can see.
Yeah, it's very good.
Sorry. ちょっと、わあ、
Oops. He log out.
Oh, we lost
Oh.
him. So maybe you can
maybe let's
go
skip
through
and
another group.
So let's go to the last group first. Masa and Yuki. Yeah,
Yes,
please.
I think we can start. We are chatting in the behind this presentation, and then we decided not to use the slide, but we can get started.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Let me see. Make sure. Okay. So thank you so much, and we are very, very excited to share our mission and the idea and the vision together. So I'm Masa, the graduate student at Tohoku University. I'm specializing in medical science, and then my team member Yuki is specializing in medical education, and then the Kenji, who is another member of our team, who is specializing in clinical informatics. We are actually joining this program from the US at the moment. So it is now 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
So apologize for any bit of confusion about our idea because of it in the middle of the night. So first of all, what is the problem? I think that is kind of our discussion. And the problem right now we are trying to solve is centralized Web 2 based medical knowledge sharing. All medical information resources available in the community or in the market, as everything is about Web 2 or Web, the centralized system. What do we mean by Web 2 or centralized system? Is one company or one individual is kind of owning all the right and the access and the information about this. We are trying to revolutionize the medical information sharing with decentralized, more scalable Web3. And we are hoping to use DAO technology, like decentralized, automated autonomous organization technology, so that the medical knowledge can be shared and more freely, and then revolutionize more kind of the quick and the transparent way. We are the 3 doctors currently living in the United States, and our problem aim to create an information sharing platform by doctors for doctors. And then we want to use Web3 technology to develop a new kind of the open source platform. And then I originally worked as a the clinician in the US, and then the Yuki worked in the medical education, and the Kenji worked in the clinical informatics. And then 3 of us kind of face this problem every single day. So maybe Yuki, you can kind of take over, maybe focusing on the medical, the more example of what kind of the problem we are facing, and then we are trying to solve.
Yeah, okay. So as Masa said, the medical education and medical information resources based on the Web 2, and the as for the primary information, which is like a original article, so these are only available in the PubMed, which is a online library platform, and it's kind of expensive to get, and it's too cutting edge, which means that we cannot use as it is. So some maybe not NPO or some company will get would try to make the online textbook or something, which we call it a second literature. I don't know, second information. So this is very useful for us, but it is not Web3, or it's completely centralized. So, and some doctors, some volunteer doctors who make their own textbook for the others, but this is completely volunteer stuff, volunteer work. So we wanna add the some token to them, and for the proof of their effort, and but actually in Japan there are some effort about that, but all of them are failed because of the lack of the Web3 technology. I mean DAO technology. So we are planning to make the platform for them, and they will give some reward or incentives to them. So that's our project.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I think the idea was there, like, the Bruno and then Steven said, I think but the technology was not the catching up with our ideal, the passion and philosophy and the mission. But now Web3 and the DAO technologies are available, but not equipped to help us to achieve that goal. So we are hoping to build the platform, utilize this Web3 and the DAO tech governance to our kind of medical professionals to kind of contribute and verify and curate medical content, and then they provide the reward and the incentive by the smart contract that attached to any content, so that ensuring transparency and the real-time validation. So the users are kind of rewarded through the tokenized incentive that were, actually help us to really focusing on what we are trying to achieve. I think the monetize the current version is everything kind of tied to the money, the but that is just once we translate it into the money, then while that create a lot of tension, and then perhaps losing the focus on why this community was for in terms of Web 2 version. So I think the DAO and this blockchain technology help us. Well, if we see great example, when we see the contents, who exactly made, who exactly built this, and then who actually contributed, and then how that kind of helped other learners all over the world at the real time. So I think the very transparent the system that allows us to kind of make our kind of mission happen. So again, we are trying to create a decentralized, very equitable medical knowledge sharing system where professionals worldwide can share and learn and teach freely. And we are inviting you to kind of join us to revolutionize the way medical information is shared. And together we can build a future where knowledge is very accessible, truly accessible and transparent, and then continuously evolving within the Web3 and the DAO technology. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great. I like the 3 projects. This is really an interesting angle because, of course, the circulation of ideas in a scientific community is a core driver of its global productivity. And we still organize as they used to be decades ago with reviews and the process. Then I think the initial idea to try to rethink actually how ideas circulates in a scientific community is really an interesting angle because, of course, sharing ideas makes the whole domain move faster, come up with new discoveries much faster than it used to be. So it's really an interesting angle. Though in the presentation you made, you see, and don't take that as criticism, it's easy for us to talk from an outside perspective. But you see, with the different wording, we have the same cognitive biases than in Masaya's projects. You see, at the end of the day, centralization, I'm just going to take a few examples. Centralization is a fact. It's not a problem. Accessibility, cost is a problem. Because sometimes I won't be able to afford it. I don't have the information I need to move on, or that will expand my research. So you see, the wording is important because words just translate how we think. And how we think, of course, will set how we structure a project. So again, when we talk about problem, it's really important to understand what is a problem. Again, centralization is a feature, it's a characteristic in itself, it's not a problem. So it will be very interesting at first to just dig into that. And of course, you're in that community, so you're part of the people who experience that problem. So that feeds the process, but of course it's not enough because your experience, there is a job that needs to be done to really understand what are the hurdles in sharing ideas, papers, circulation. And your idea is two-sided. I'm a consumer, I need information, and a provider. So you also have to understand your idea as a two-sided. Say, what is my need for accessing information that will help me to move faster in my research and do a better job? And what would be the incentive for me to share what I'm doing? Because I've sweated a lot to produce that. So what's the incentive for sharing that, realizing that there is more to win by sharing my knowledge than to lose by protecting it. In the US, just a side example, in the US, the laws for non-compete laws for preventing an employee to quit to work for a competitor are different in Massachusetts, so that is Boston. Boston is a medical community, by the way, so it's interesting, and California. Because in Massachusetts, actually, a court of law will recognize the non-compete law. So in the job contract, I can prevent one of my employees to quit his job to go for a competitor. And the rationale is exactly what we're talking about, to protect the know-how, the knowledge, the idea that that employee has working on, so it remains inside the organization. In California, it doesn't work. The court of law don't recognize non-compete law. You can't prevent an employee to quit his job in your organization and move to a competitor. You can sue him for stealing some know-how, but he's free to go anywhere. And this is actually the driver that led the Silicon Valley to where it is, circulation of talent and ideas. But it's difficult for an organization because at the first I see what I lose. A key employee that will quit me for working for a competitor, it's harder to see what I win. So you really need to keep in mind, to get back on the project, the fact that it's a two-sided idea. You have helping the access to information, and then I see what I win, but sharing the information. And as it's a community, both sides needs to work for the community to work smoothly. So you see, at the end of the day, the rationale behind that is to get to the root of the idea. What is the problem in accessing relevant data today, relevant research ideas, research data today on one side, and what are the incentives for sharing what I'm doing? And I would really focus on that, forget about the DAO. And it's fascinating, actually. I've studied a little because I love the idea of decentralizing the way organization work. But at the end of the day, it's one hypothesis of the solution in front of a problem that we still need to frame and characterize. Will you need a DAO to get it to work with tokenized exchanges? Maybe, maybe not. But you have to accept that this is an unproven hypothesis. It's a sexy one, but will it be, at the end of the day, the right one? You don't know. We have to remain very realistic about this is a question for tomorrow, not for today.
Great. I think I love the idea of how the Boston community and the San Francisco community are different. Perhaps that are exactly we're facing. It is great for us to, again, step back and focus on what exactly the problem is. Yes, the DAO and tokenized system, blockchain are just technology to help us to get there. But I think our problem, our focus is not just using DAO or any technology. These are the tools for us to revolutionize our medical information, sharing system, the ecosystem, from kind of traditional Boston to kind of future, San Francisco in a community, what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is exactly. Actually really great.
You're working to convert Boston into San Francisco. That's exactly
right.
For the medical community. That's exactly the idea. So
yeah, it's kind of mindset change. Yeah, it's completely mindset change, and then creating the kind of system to nurture that almost drastic change of that kind of ecosystem completely. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. So it's really a great project, but it's particularly because it gets to the roots of how people work and function in their work. It's very important to go step by step, focus on the problem, forget about the rest, and then move on to the next step, and really start digging in a structured way, so you can lay all the variable that at the end of the day all together will allow you to get the system in motion.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. So then let's move to the last team. You say,
Yeah.
are you ready right now? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would like to tell you about AI earring for arteriosclerosis. Arteriosclerosis is common disease in which fatty deposition block a blood vessel and impede blood flow. Arteriosclerosis causes heart disease or stroke. Well, because of no method of treatment, we have to care your lifestyle or get a diagnosis for prevention of arteriosclerosis. However, I think you don't make a chance for going to hospital to get a diagnosis for prevention of disease. So you should prevent disease while you are at something. Your robes have abundant fatty tissue and blood flow. Growing worse or blood circulation causes wrinkles. So earlobes are being considered a marker of arteriosclerosis. However, when you find wrinkles, you might already suffer from arteriosclerosis. So I suggest earring with blood flow analysis by AI tech. Putting on earring is easy, and you can dress up with paying attention to health if you use this. This implementation will be helpful for your health. Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is interesting because this is really a good example of a health-related problem, you know. And one of the difference between the project that you're working on and the other project, that then the problem is clear. You know, you have a disease that you're tackling, so you know exactly what problem that you're going to try to address, which is to help early diagnosis before I have a heart attack. And that's typically what characterizes a health startup, because the problem is clear. You know, I'm curing cancer. I'm allowing to detect some neurodegenerative diseases. So you don't question the problem because you sense the problem. So in this project, in such a project, so which is interesting because it will really, it's important that you all together, you have different projects that will point out different traps, methods to work on an idea. So it's important you primarily focus on your project, but you also listen, pay attention to the other projects, because they will bring light to other interesting sides of building a deep tech startup that your project may not emphasizes. So it's really important that you feed yourself with the others' experience And I'll get back to that because we'll try to leverage that angle. So unlike the other group, in your case, we understand the problem. And it's there. So it's always interesting to quantify the problem, understand how many people are suffering, what are the flaws in early diagnosis of arteriosclerosis, so we're going to need you to refine the problem. But then the focus is on the hypothesis of solution to resolve the problem, because you come up with something that is already very characterized. It's an AI-based hearing. And then the question, I understand arteriosclerosis. I need to understand better what are the problems to conduct early diagnosis. Eventually, what are the other angles? Maybe taking a picture of my face and an AI can detect the wrinkles, or 30 seconds video, that you can analyze the micro color variation on a video and analyze the blood circulation in my ear and maybe conduct the same type of analysis. So I would focus on, what are the challenges in early detection and what are the different technology paths? Because maybe it's at Eric, at the end of the day, it's the same discussion that we had just before, maybe Web3, DAO is the right way, but you don't know. So focus on laying the foundation that will allow you to come up with the best possible answer to that problem of early diagnosis of arteriosclerosis, which is exactly what you're working on. And you say this is the ear lab is one zone. Maybe there are others. So I would and try to think about that. Characterize how you can. What are the direction, the hypothesis to conduct that early diagnosis, not thinking in terms of product, but thinking in terms of raw direction. This is why I was mentioning that, because in a 30-second videos with my smartphone, with the camera quality, you can analyze blood circulation, you can analyze the wrinkle, and probably an AI can produce a predictor of that. And the reason I'm mentioning that, because, by design, hardware is painful because hardware is capital consuming. It's long. It never works. Software neither, by the way, but that's another issue. And you have supplies because you're not gonna manufacture the earring. You will set the production facility where it makes sense. So it brings a billion of logistic issues. So when you need hardware, of course, you have to build a hardware, but the rationale is when you can avoid to build a hardware and rely on existing hardware, it's probably always the best strategy. So this is where you need to step back a little bit, forget about the earring and focus about the challenges of early detection. And then the product, the solution will come along the way. But it's a very interesting project because it really draws a very different development path than the other projects. So that will really enrich the discussion we'll have all together. And it's a smart idea. I think it's really an interesting, very interesting idea, and it's obviously a high impact project. Yeah, and you see, you have some suggestions.
Yeah,
in
must I
chat.
have some suggestions?
Yeah.
No,
So
I just love the idea of combining. So I already feel that, Masaya's presentation, I learned about, happiness. Wow, how medical information sharing is now isolated from happiness. And, wow, maybe we can kind of visualize that with, information sharing. And then you say the presentation, early, wow, how we can combine that, early visualization of how that information sharing can contribute to society when they are, sharing. I think those, I think I'm almost, as Bruno said, that I'm kind of gathering everybody's presentations, the piece of idea into focus on what exactly the problem we are trying to solve, and then some of the tool you are presenting definitely can help us to kind of really refocus on what is exactly the problem. So very, very helpful. So thank you so much for sharing.
No, it's
idea.
it's
So
a very
much.
good point, and I think that can be the transition to start digging. Stefan, you want to add something, or because I was planning to start presenting the.
Yeah. Just I would like to add that this kickoff is really good because uh, as Masa said, so we are doing this coaching not by one, but with all of us because we would like you to share each other's idea, and of course, me and Professor Bruno, we will do a lot of we will ask you a lot of questions and mention about the advice. Of course, some will not be applied to you, adapt to you, but some could be adapt to you. Even the project is different. So I think this is why we are doing the coaching with all of us. And yeah, I will say again in the next session, but we are doing the co-coaching session, mean that you also will be a coach for other teams. So that is a very important learning uh, mechanism that we are doing. So that is all what I want to say.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was about to say, that really you have to view the coaching session as us helping each other to think differently on the project we're working on. So it's very important that all together you come up with different insight. At the end of the day, what characterizes a deep tech startup is that no one knows if it's going to work and what works and what doesn't work, and particularly experts. So one of the things that is very crucial when you start working on your idea is feed yourself with people who disagree, different inputs, different ideas. And then at the end of the day, it's your project, you make your decisions, but you have to feed yourself with people, smart people, which is what we have here with us, who may have different ideas about how to think, where to focus. So this is really how you have to see the discussion we will have all together as a team of friends, colleagues, who will discuss about how to help someone to move on with his or her project. So that's really the spirit, and we'll leverage that a lot in the coaching session, asking you to give feedback to someone presentation. What would be your advice? What would you have done differently? What maybe you think they may have missed? And that's a really important part of the collective work that we're going to do together. As Stefan was mentioning, our job is to catalyze, point out some methodologies, important milestone, but the core of the exercise is that collective group discussion that we need to have all together. So don't be shy. There is no right or wrong at that stage. It's important, if you have an idea or suggestion, just word it, because it will feed the discussion always in a constructive way. No one is right or wrong at that stage. Okay, very good. So let me get back because I lost my presentation. Where was it? Well, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to very briefly share a small number of, let me go in full screen mode. Can you see it? It's okay?
Yes, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so it's not a boring lecture. I'm just going to share with you a number of simple ideas and then explain how it's going to be structured and the tools that will provide you ways to guide you through the process. So one of the important learning objective, and we've started to touch that with different words on your project, is when you start working on an idea, this is what it looks like, you know, in an illustrated way. You convince you're tackling a problem, that you have an idea of a solution, and you want to make it happen. And the challenge is it never works, because when you start working on an idea, actually you're starting an exploration journey. You're not executing something that you have in mind and you're going to convert into the real world. Actually, you're going to start an exploration journey, exactly like a scientist in his lab who tackles an issue, has a set of hypotheses that through tests and experimentation will prove wrong, but will allow him or her to move on. So the job that we're going to do together is to walk you through that process. What happens when you work on a technology venture? It's a chaotic, iterative discovery process where step by step, most of the initial hypotheses will fall apart, but you will generate new ones that will feed the process. It's easy to describe, it's challenging because exploration is long. You know, I've wrote a book on the growth of startups, and exploration on average is not 3 months, you know, or 6 weeks, or it's 1 or 2 years on average. And I see that regularly on the project that I'm coaching. You know, between the time between the starting points, you start working, exploring on the initial idea, and something that starts to make sense, you know, what they call in the US the product market fit, the mean average is 1 to 2 years. So it's a long process, and it's difficult because it's non-linear. You know, it's not that you get the impression that step by step you're moving on in the right direction. You never do, because exploration is non-linear. You know, suddenly the planets align and you understand how to crack the code. But for the past year, you've been stuck in the dark. So it's hard because it's long, and it's also hard because it's non-linear. So you need to keep the motivation alive. So, and you need to keep focus and not lying to yourself on the fact that you're exploring an idea about which you haven't yet cracked the code. So this is very important to keep that in mind, because this is very often actually the root cause that get a number of projects to deviate from what they should be doing, which is test, explore, understand the problem, understand who has the problem, when does it happen, and then understand how to resolve that problem in a sequential way where you give yourself the time to understand exactly what you're doing, and brick by brick build how to address that. So in that exploration process, there is a simple idea, is that you have 3 core jobs to tackle. These jobs are long, they are hard, but they are simple. You know, the first one is to confirm, this is what we're going to be doing, is to confirm that your idea actually opens the door to what could be a real opportunity. Which leads to the question, what characterizes a real opportunity? So this is the first thing we're going to be focusing on. So try to characterize in its most generic way really what you're working on, what your idea is about. The second big job, which is the toughest one, the longest one, is to map the territory of this opportunity. Where is the real potential of this opportunity and where it is not? Because at the end of the day, you know, markets are always very heterogeneous. You know, don't have one profile of researcher in the medical community. You have lots of different profiles who have different agendas, different behavior, who will be looking for different things on what could be an information sharing platform in a community. And the same comment applies for all of you, actually. So mapping the territory of that opportunity is really the foundational job to understand where the potential may lie and where it will likely not lie. Differentiating the potential user from the potential likely non-user. It's very simple to word, it's very hard to address because we'd like our idea to attract everyone, you know, because this is the romantic, naive motivation at the beginning of every startup. At the end of the day, it never happens. So that mapping job is hugely important. This is the hard part because this is where exploration actually takes place in its most painful form. It's long. You get the impression you're moving nowhere, you're standing still, while sometimes developing the product, working on the tech gives you the nice feeling that you're moving on in your project, but it doesn't make sense because you haven't yet characterized who has the problem, in which form, when does it happen, so you can start coming up with tangible learnings that will help you to think about the solution. And the third big job is thinking about the feasibility of execution. It's not executing, it's confirming that when the time comes, you will be able to build the product or the service and build the organization to develop that product or that service and put all that in motion. And it's important to realize you're not executing, you're confirming that when the time comes, you will be able to. And these are the three core jobs of the exploration phase. At the end of the day, every project in every domain, when it starts during that first painful exploration phase, has these three jobs to tackle. And it's not that clear, but it draws more or less a sequence. First, you draw the opportunity to confirm that it's a good idea. Once you've done that job, you're going to try to do where the potential actually resides in that good idea. And the third job will be, can I do it? Can I make it happen? So it's not that hard sequence, but it's more or less how things will tend to be organized, focusing first on the opportunity, second on the mapping, and third on the execution question to confirm that you will be able to do it when the time comes. So very naturally, this is how we framed the module that we are going to work on together. So today is the kickoff. So next session will be, no, today is the kickoff. Next session will be focusing, I think it's something 2 weeks-ish, on trying to frame the opportunity from your idea. And we'll discuss that. The second workshop will be focusing on that mapping job. So engaging all the field exploration, the investigation. So you start gathering the raw material out of which you will be able to express a hypothesis of map. And the third job, the third session will be try to focus on the specifics, the hard execution question for your project, which will be different. And that will be extremely interesting on each of your projects because you have different ideas tackling different classes of problems. And the last session will be to engage you in wrapping up everything you've done into a first try of a pitch where you summarize the core hypothesis of your project, which is always tricky because at that time there is a lot that you don't know. There is a lot that you didn't have time to investigate. So it's important to understand that when you pitch, you have to be rigorous, consistent, and clear about what you know and what you don't know. Pitching at that stage is very often about pointing out the right question and explain how you think about this question, more than coming up with the right answer, which most of the time you couldn't have yet. So the rationale of an early stage presentation is peculiar because it's about demonstrating that you think well on issues that you haven't yet cracked, more than presenting a plan that is all crafted, because it's an illusion. Of course, you can't have a fully developed, crafted plan after 2 months, 3 months. Remember, exploration lasts on average 1 or 2 years. But still, you need to be able to pitch in a convincing way your project, because you need public funding, you need subsidies, you need to engage key stakeholders in your project. So your ability to convince that you're working onto something that could carry a high impact is crucial, but you have to do that respecting where you are at the beginning or in the middle of an exploration journey where there is a lot you don't know. So the rationale of the exercise are also peculiar, but it's important to understand these rules, and this is why what we're here for, and to help you to walk through the process. So we're going to do that at a fast pace. So part of it will be to walk you through the milestones, so you can then redesign with the right timing the work plan on your project, because of course you're not going to be done with the mapping but mid-November or mid-December. You will be at the beginning of doing the mapping, but it's important for us, we go through and discuss all these ideas, so then again you can redesign and redevelop the right work plan for your idea, and we'll still be there after the program to discuss that with you, of course, even after it's finished. So that's the goal. And again, you have to understand each of these points as a group discussion about what's been done, what's been missing, what I would do differently for this project to really help so we can help each other. So I'm gonna pass that because we've more or less discussed it, so it's irrelevant. So we have 2 resources that we're gonna share. There is an online platform. So I think one of you, I don't know, but most of you haven't done the basic course, so you haven't watched it. If you did, you don't need to redo it, but there is an online platform which is a series of modules that exactly follow the plan: opportunity mapping, feasibility of execution, to share with you the core concept, the core methodologies to keep in mind. And there is a project management platform that is built exactly on the same principle to guide you through these 3 jobs: confirming the opportunity, mapping the territory, and analyzing the feasibility of execution. So we already have open access for each of you to these 2 platforms. So I'm very briefly going to show them to you, and then we'll stop a little bit on the platform, because the work to do for next session is on the platform actually. So we will ask you to summarize it on a short presentation to help the discussion next time, but the body of the work will be on the platform. So I'm going to show it to you now. So this is the MOOC platform. So not to lay the expectation, is just mostly me talking in front of a camera in a classroom. So it's not Star Wars by far, but it's there to help you. So one side thing, we have a translation module. Your English level is very good, but we have a module that allows you to translate actually the content in Japanese. If you and all the videos are subtitled in Japanese as well, so it's just to ease the process. So you see there is that tiny module there where you can watch all the content, and if you like French for whatever reason, you can also enjoy it in French, but it's probably more of a stretch. And so you see the first module. So you have a first introductory module about the 3 core jobs, which is more or less what I've touched in one slide. So it's optional, but if you're interested, you can watch that module. They are all open for you. The one that I'd focus on is the opportunity assessment, where here, actually the core question that we want you to address on your idea are developed and explained. So these are short videos. You see, they are also subtitled in Japanese, in Japanese if you need, or in English, so you can choose. So really the goal is to help you understand the content. So it's rather short. So you have an introduction and you have some explanation about what are the core questions that you need to tackle to confirm that there is an opportunity, how to address each of these questions. So they are here. So it's a rather short module. So if you haven't done it, I encourage you to watch it. Spread the pain, you know, they are short videos, so you don't have to cry for 1 hour in front of your computer. You can watch the videos when you're bored or tired or whenever. But try to watch the videos so you understand the rationale, why we ask you to tackle these questions on your project. So that's what the MOOC platform is there for. So you understand what you're doing and why you're doing. We ask you to do what you have to do. And the second part is a project management platform, which is there. So where we already created each of your projects there. So your team, you all have an access to that platform. And in that platform, we've kind of hard-coded the methodologies for exploring on your project, for tackling the 3 core jobs. So opportunity, mapping, feasibility of execution. So in order you don't get lost, we've just opened. So let's view one project, for example. So you see on the left, I need my mouse. Let me open it. So you have a menu on the left, you see. So I will close the mapping. I just kept it open. Temporary will close the mapping and execution because this is not relevant for today. What we'd like you to do for next time is just answer simple question. Describe your project in 2 sentences. Why you think your idea is interesting? Why now? Why hasn't it been done before? And this is always a very important question. Just try to make up your mind about why there are millions of smart people around the world who are facing the problem that I'm focusing on. Why hasn't it been cracked before? So, and then you have the opportunity. So this is a framework that we ask you to focus on for next time. So what is exactly the problem that you're trying to tackle? Does it convert into a market? So try to think about these questions that are explained on the MOOC. And the idea you see there is to go straight to the point. So it's not a slide. We just ask you, can you summarize in 2 sentences the problem that you're having? And there you see you have a file option. The idea is to back up your claims by tangible facts. So people in the medical community don't have access to medical knowledge because it's too expensive. And here is a study that has been conducted on the fact you try to back up your claims by tangible evidence, tangible facts. So this is a file, so you can upload files or it can be a URL. But try to back up your claim as much as possible with facts. And there you see, so you state the problem. And then what we ask you to do is to differentiate what you know about the problem and the hypothesis that you have in mind, which you know you don't know. It's very important at every stage to make the difference between what I know and I can back up and what I don't know. So do your best, don't spend too much time, don't twist your brain too much, but try to address the very simple question. Because it's really about focusing on the core hypothesis, the DNA of your idea. What is the problem that you're tackling? Does it convert into a market? That means, are people ready to act or to pay to get that, to resolve that problem? What is that you're going to do better than what's currently available? Simple question to frame your opportunity. And so use the platform to do that, because the interest is that Professor Stefan and myself, we can view what you post, and we can also post comments. So it allows us to interact in real time on the work that you do on the platform. So we can make the next session more interesting, because we will already have tackled and discussed a number of items along the way. So that's the project management platform that we're going to be using. So you all have a project. So when you log on, you will just have access to your project, and then you click on View, and you go through project definition and characterization and opportunity assessment at the beginning. Okay, and this will be the job to do for next time. And next time we will discuss what you've done to characterize and frame the opportunity for your project. So of course, some of the questions are hard to painful to answer, but that's the goal, to force each of you to really face the hard questions and be clear about what you know, what you don't know, engage some investigation to come up with tangible facts to back up a number of hypotheses that your idea is based on. Okay, so keep in mind the MOOC platform and the project platform are based exactly on the same concept and the same methodologies. Just on the MOOC, it explains. On the project, you apply it to your project. Any question?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So you say that first I need to summarize the content of the MOOC platform, and then I should summarize my idea to this platform. So how about the ratio of summarizing the content and write my idea? It is not decided.
Sorry, I'm not sure I got the question.
Okay, maybe I will answer for that. So
Okay.
the MOOC is like a textbook. So first, we recommend you to watch the MOOC, especially for the first one, the opportunity assessment. Okay, because the list, the mapping and the execution MOOC, of course, it is important, but it will be discussed in the second, third session. So you don't need to watch it right now. So please now
Okay.
watch the opportunity assessment MOOC material to understand what is the concept, and then go to the project management platform and summarize your own project.
Yeah, I see. I
Okay?
see. So okay. So yeah, I understand that I don't have to check the video, all of the video, and
No.
I
Yeah.
understand just the concept
Right. Yeah.
of week, and then I summarize my idea to the second platform.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so you don't get disturbed. We're testing teaching assistant on the MOOC platform. So we're not there yet, because at the present time, it's too talkative. It asks too many questions. But we're thinking about using generative AI to build a teaching assistant that will help you to understand the concept of the MOOC. So you can ask questions about, can you clarify that idea that is developed in the video? Can you explain it to me? But it's a work in progress. So don't set your expectation too high. You see, it's there. So sometimes it will pop up and ask you a question. What did you remember from that chapter? It will tell you if you skip some video saying it's maybe you should watch it because it's interesting. You're gonna miss that important concept if you don't watch the videos. And more importantly, you can ask questions. But it's a trial. Generative AI is a very fascinating technology to rethink education. So we were just brainstorming and playing with it. So don't be scared or disturbed. Is that you don't have to answer. You can close it if it's a disturbance. But this is what I'm working on actually, to try to rethink the relationship with the learner online, actually, because it's definitely an issue. The video, this module is rather short. So as Professor Stefan was mentioning, just watch the module on opportunity assessment. So this one. So where? Let me
Yeah,
move
thank you so
it.
much. Yeah, I think that such generative AI support is very useful for me. So I want to activate it. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I would like to add one thing that so of course if you can perfectly understand what we are talking in English, it's fine. But if you have
Yeah.
something that you cannot understand in English, or you want to have some support in Japanese, I can do that, of course. So just
Okay.
send me a message on the Slack, and then we can do a short Japanese support session. That is okay. We are not doing that for this program is not for training your English. So if you have something that is unclear, we can do it in Japanese. But in this session, of course, try to do the English because it is very important to try yourself also.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're
Now I'm relieved. Your story.
Right.
Yeah. So first I try to use English, and if I don't understand, I don't understand some content. I can understand something in Japanese. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
all the videos are subtitled in Japanese, and but the platform is in English. Next
Right.
step, we'll have it translated, but so far it's in English, and there are also some Gen AI agents in the platform that I will show you later to help in the search for relevant information. So I will show you that later. But so yeah, I think that's it as far as I think for today. So keep in mind,
Yeah.
watch the opportunity assessment module and answer the question on the project management platform.
All right. So, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. So we are already over some time, but it's okay. So, and again, so today the recorded video for today, I will share it via the Slack, so you can check it again. And also, I will put what you should do by the next session and on the Slack. Maybe tomorrow I will put the message for that. So to make sure what you need to do. So okay. And again, if you have something that unclear or want to ask questions, anytime you can ask to Professor Bruno and me. And if you need some support in Japanese, of course, I could do that. Okay. So if there is no question for today, I think we can wrap up here, close this session. It's okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And then let's see you next time in November 5th. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, November 5th.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have a nice night for some of you.
Right.
Evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.